here we go for the final time. We are free! Oh, they make contact! A terrible crash! Hola, ¿cómo estás? And welcome to the continuation of the chase to the chase for the NNSCRA Season 10 Snickers Cup Series. We are getting ready here for race number 19. After this race, we've only got 7 more stops, and then the chase field is going to be compiled already. The announcement made that the regular season finale, where the chase field will be put together, will be at our second stop of Rockingham, North Carolina. But here today, we're getting ready for some restricted plate racing, and we are international. That's right. All these drivers, as well as myself, hop the jet to Spain, as we are live here at Madrid Speedway. This is going to be a very exciting race. This is another track making its debut. Now, last week at Louisiana, wasn't a whole lot of really passing that went on, not a lot of battles for position. It was in all more of a boring race, but again, like I said last week, that was more the track conditions than the fact that the drivers were wanting to make passes and just couldn't. So today here at Madrid, with it being a super speedway race, we're more than likely going to be seeing a debuting track with much better racing, but we'll have to see who's going to come out on top at the end of 24 laps. Here today, Madrid is very similar to Talladega Super Speedway, really. The surface is a lot newer, though, a lot more recently repaved. The start-finish line is in a slightly different area as well. So these drivers are going to have to contend with a brand new restricted plate track here today, and we'll see what they're going to be able to do. 2 drivers who had solid runs last week at Louisiana will be starting on the front row, and both still looking for their first wins of the season. James McLeod, who had, I believe it was a 6th place run last week at Louisiana, still has to make his way into the top 35 in points, even into the top 30 in points, to be eligible for a spot in the chase, even if he goes to victory lane here today. He comes in dead last still in the point stands. Alongside of him, Stephen Pollard III. I think last week was his best career finish, and he's going to be rolling off from the outside of the front row. Stephen Pollard III also outside the top 35 in the standings. That's going to be Cole Daly in the 88. Daly comes into this race situated 28th in the point standings. He picked up 2 spots last week, got himself out of that critical 30th place in points. Still needs a victory, though, and alongside of him, 2-time winner of the season, Jessica Shelton. Shelton last week was one of her more disappointing finishes. She didn't have very good track position with her qualifying. She dropped 2 spots down to 23rd in points. She'll try and regroup here today, maybe try and pick up her 3rd, which would be a league-leading 3rd victory here today. And Johnny Gardner still looking for his first win of the season. Gardner has been falling through the standings recently. He's now mired down 18th in the standings, but still looking for his first win of the season as he completes the top 5. This is going to be very interesting, especially points-wise, and I'll fill you in on why in just a moment, but we're getting ready now to get those most famous words in motorsports. We go down trackside now to get those most famous words from the driver of the number 22 Ford out of TA2 Racing. Pichu London is our Grand Marshal today, and he will give us our most famous words in motorsports. Let's go down there now.
Drivers, start your engines.
Really strange that in the final season of Snickers Cup that we've got tracks just now making their debut on the Snickers Cup Series schedule. Next week will be the same thing. It'll be a brand new track that these drivers will be on. And we'll be seeing all of what's going to be happening. Louisiana brought about a boring race, but it went clean and green all the way. Here today at Madrid, brand new restricted plate track for these drivers, and then next week we're going to Manassas, which will be making its debut in the final season of Snickers Cup. Now, I told you that this pretty interesting situation as far as the point standings coming into this race. Let me tell you why. This is our 19th race of the season, and believe it or not, this late in the season, we have a three-way tie for the points lead between rookie Austin Mongold, last week's winner Jacob Lawler, and the Daytona 500 winner Trent Dunham, all coming to this race with 476 points apiece. Who would have thought that 19 races into this season, we'd have three drivers tied for the points lead? That's almost unheard of, but it happened after last week's race at Louisiana. Anthony McCurry has now jumped to 4th in points. He's only 14 points out of the top spot. John Cittadino, after his runner-up finish last week, jumped up to 5th, 15 points out. Then the rest of the top 10 in the standings, Joshua Collard dropped a couple of spots last week to 6th. Dougie Shears is 7th. Joshua Michaels has really dropped now. He was as high up as 2nd place in the point standings. He's now 8th in the points. Tim Walsh is now 9th. And Kyle Matthews currently is 10th in the standings. Top 10 separated by 54 points coming into today's race. A couple of drivers that might try and work their way up into the top 10 in points. Dylan Poteet's now worked his way back up to 11th. Benjamin Miles 12th. James Qualls is now 13th. Cody Lamas 14th. And Austin LaPlante is 15th. But here we go. Getting ready to go green here at Madrid. For the very first time, these drivers will take here to this racetrack. Let's see what kind of racing we're going to see in 24 laps. Madrid Speedway here in Spain is green here in the Snickers Cup Series. James McLeod gets out to an early advantage here. Cold Alley now looking for 2nd. He's got Johnny Gardner right behind him. This track, like I said, very similar to Talladega, so it will be very draft reliant. And Anthony McCurry and Austin Mongold there. They're 4 wide already. That's Jessica Shelton up there against the wall. And she's going to lose some valuable spots right there. She might actually have been dropping back on purpose, because for anybody that knows restricted plate racing, a lot of times you can drop to the back and then work your way back up to the front. Looks like Austin LaPlante has also worked that strategy. He has dropped about maybe 8 car lengths off the last car in this lead group as McLeod has gotten out to a very early advantage. Comes Chris Dollerton. I think that was Charles Jackson that moved to his inside 3 wide. He's got Cody Lamas helping him. See Dylan Poteet back there at the tail end of the field. This could be strategy by these guys. Dropping to the back gives you more of an opportunity to be able to slow down if and when a big wreck occurs up at the front. Right now it is all James McLeod at the front, and then it's a battle for 2nd, Cody Lamas and Charles Jackson. Here comes Dylan Young. He's got Kyle Matthews helping him, and they're trying to work by Trent Dunham for 4th and 5th. Oh, a couple cars up the racetrack there. One I think was Danny Wells, the other Cole Daly. So one thing they got to be careful of is they can move up the track to let drivers by, but they got to be careful they don't hit the outside wall. That just kills a lot of momentum, and then when they get back in line, they're going several miles per hour slower than the rest of the field, and they're going to lose the draft big time. Oh, caution for the first time today here at Madrid. Yellow flag for the first time, but they made it around 3 laps. So that's pretty impressive here as Cody Lamas right on the rear decklet of James McLeod as they cross the start-finish line. So McLeod getting some early laps led here today, and he'll probably lead a couple more here under the pacing laps. But the yellow flag's out. Let's see who this caution flag involved. Oh, Zach Buchanan. The Tag Heuer 09. Smoking, badly damaged on the rear, badly damaged on the front. Looks like Chris Washer also was collected. Ryan Acosta in the 16 was in it as well. Oh, and Cole Daly, who started the race from the 3rd position. Remember, we saw him move up to the high side. He was practically in the wall trying to let drivers by. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. But as a result, he gets caught up. It's the big break here for Austin LaPlante, who had possibly lost the draft since he was so far back. Now he's going to be caught back up with these guys. So it looks like 4 cars at the most that got involved. It looks like James McLeod is going to give up the lead to Pitt. Dylan Young, Kyle Matthews, Benjamin Miles, Trent Dunham, Peachy London, they're coming in as well. But Cody Lamas and Dougie Shears decided to stay out. So very interesting there. James McLeod deciding to pit early. This is a brand new racetrack, so like I said last week in Louisiana, no idea what the fuel mileage is for these drivers or the fuel window. But I'm sure during testing, these drivers were trying to figure that out. Looks like it's going to be at least a 2-tire stop for James McLeod. See if they go around and give him left sides as well. Nope, 2-tire stop, and he's down and away. So James McLeod with a 2-tire pit stop. Dylan Young comes right out behind him. Then there's Miles, Pichu London, Dougie Shears, Trent Dunham, Lyndon Wright, Chris Dollerton, Kyle Matthews, and then everybody else. So we're under the caution flag for the first time here today at Madrid. The current leader is Cody Lamas. It looks like 5 drivers total decided to stay out. Lamas, Hudson, McCrory, Duncan, and Gonzalez. Let's take a look at a replay of what happened to put us under the caution for the first time here today. Well, here's what happened. Right there, you're going to see the 88 of Cole Daly get clipped by the 16 of Ryan Acosta. Gets him squirrely, and his car just snaps to the left right into Zach Buchanan. Chris Washer nowhere to go. John Cittadino got a slight piece of that there. 16 slid up into his driver's side door. And then he gets a little clipping there from Cole Daly as well. Look at everybody do a nice job avoiding Shelton. Oh, Dylan Poteet, I think, got clipped. That car is smoking. I think Poteet was clipped in all of that. So that was another driver involved that I did not see. Poteet, who just worked his way up to 11th in points after last week. This is not going to be good for him. Not certain who it was he clipped. But there you can see the smoke out of his car. Let's rewind it back just a little and see who he hit. This isn't a great camera view because of the smoke. Let's look from here. It's behind Jessica Shelton. And I think he's going to get the 16. Yep. Got the 16 of Acosta. Following the tire tracks of Shelton, who did make it through. Poteet was just a little bit higher on the track, and that little bit of height was what killed him. And look at Chris Washer up there and riding in the catch fence up on the safer barrier. But with the high speeds that they've reached here, I mean, they've been up almost of 240 miles per hour in the draft. So with those high speeds comes high impact when these drivers get out of shape. And Washer's car may actually start going into a barrel roll here up and onto the passenger side of the Dawn BMW. Comes sliding down the racetrack. Look at Austin LaPlante. The fact he was so far back gave him ample opportunity to slow down, just maneuver his way through these wrecked race cars. And yeah, Washer does flip over and barrel roll. There's Cole Daly's 88. There's Zach Buchanan. There's Ryan Acosta, who had to teleport to pit road. Buchanan and Daly were both able to drive away from the incident. Washer and Acosta were not. And apparently Dylan Poteet came right down pit road and brought that car to the garage area. So that's a tough break for the 2-time winner who's just trying to stay inside the top 30 in points. Cole Daly, Ryan Acosta, Zach Buchanan, Chris Washer, they're all trying to find victory lane, but that's not going to happen here today as we head back now for the restart. Cody Lamas is the current leader. Getting ready to go back to green. Cody Lamas trying to pick up his 2nd win in the last few weeks. He ended up going to victory lane in Kentucky for his first win since season 7. A win here today would lock him up a chase spot. You can only assume these drivers staying out, expecting that maybe this thing will go green the rest of the way, and that possibly those drivers from James McLeod on back, that they're going to have to maybe pit again at least one more time. But Cody Lamas, Nathan Hudson, Anthony McCurry, William Duncan, Brandon Gonzalez, that's the top 5, as they were the 5 that decided to stay out. Then it's James McLeod, Dylan Young, Benjamin Miles, Pichu London, and Dougie Shears. That is your top 10 as we get ready to go back to green. Drivers out of the race, basically the ones you saw: Ryan Acosta, Zach Buchanan, Chris Washer, and Dylan Poteet will suffer a dead last finish again this week. Cole Daly was able to continue. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. Green flag back out, single file restart, so hopefully it'll take these guys a bit of time before they get back into trouble. Hopefully they won't won't get into trouble at all, though. That would be nice. At the stripe, we had a total of 17 laps to go in this race. Single file amongst the top 15 down that back straightaway there. A couple drivers trying to step out of line. McCrory looking underneath of Nathan Hudson. Looks like he's finally going to be able to get there, and William Duncan is going to go with him. All that's going on behind Cody Lamas. Now this thing is going to be interesting if it goes into a green flag run, because if McLeod and others pitted, you got to assume that the 48, the 61, 83, 23, 6, they cannot make it the entire rest of the way on fuel. The only thing I can assume is they have one of two strategies. One, like I said, they're expecting that James McLeod and all those others that pitted under this first caution, that they're going to have to pit at least one more time. The other thing that they might be hoping for is maybe for another quick caution flag, so that way they're able to have track position for this restart, and then they'll be able to come down and pit, give up that track position. But whichever the case, it's looking like it's going to be leaning more towards option number one, because right now these drivers, they're racing hard, but they're racing pretty clean, and they were actually racing pretty clean before. I'm trying to actually figure out why the contact was made, and the only thing I can think of is you couldn't see it in that replay, but Cole Daly had been up in the wall there of turns 1 and 2 at that particular point, and that must have scrubbed off a lot of speed, and Ryan Acosta probably assumed the 88 was still up to speed, was going to try and give him some draft, and then as a result ended up running into the back of him. There's a car up in the wall. That was, I think, Anthony McCrory. That was in front of Trent Dunham. Cody Lamas looking like what James McLeod looked like at the start of this race, able to get out ahead. Normally, at restriction plate tracks, that is not a good thing, but right now, Cody Lamas making it work. Dylan Youngman moves into second. William Duncan is now up into the wall out of turns 1 and 2. Dougie Shears now to third. Fourth place now is Chris Dollerton. Got Sean Galligan all over him for that spot. How about those three that come in tied for the points lead? Where are they all running? Saw Trent Dunham, I think, the furthest stuff out of all of them. Nope, Jacob Lawler is. Lawler right now, he was scored 12th last time by. And this time by, last week's winner, is going to be scored in the 9th position. There's Austin Mongold. He's currently scored 15. And then Trent Dunham, back here, scored in 21st. So at the current moment, the points lead would be taken over by Jacob Lawler, who has been on a hot streak as of late. He's picked up a lot of spots and points in the past couple of weeks. Jacob Lawler, former Sprint Cup, or make that the Snickers Cup Series champion, not Sprint Cup. As Sean Galligan now goes to the inside for the lead. He's caught Cody Lamas. Now he wants to pass him, and it looks like he's going to do it. Sean Galligan comes into this race 34th in the point standings. Has yet to find victory lane. He's got to work his way into the top 30 in points, pick up a victory here. Sean Galligan actually has not been in the chase for the championship since Season 8. Season 8, he was, I think it was a two-time winner. If I'm not mistaken, I think the year before that he was a 3-time winner in Season 7. I might be wrong. I think that's correct. I might be thinking of his stats from the Mobile Cup Series as well, though. Tim Walsh has now moved up into second. Tim Walsh dropped 4 spots in standings last week. Walsh trying to make a comeback here, trying to get back what he lost last week at Louisiana. A lot of drivers that lost points last week, basically due to one factor alone, and that was that they didn't qualify well, and with the fact that there was no ability to be able to make passes last week at Louisiana, drivers basically started where they finished. And so if you qualified bad, you were more than likely going to finish poorly. Sean Galligan leading Tim Walsh. Dougie Shears there in third. How about Dylan Young, James Silverfox? There's a couple of drivers that really could use good runs here. Both of them outside the top 35 in the point standings. Both of them still looking for their first victories of the season as well. Tim Walsh now goes to the top position. I'm going to count out that 5 car. That's been the strongest car in the last couple of weeks. He and Austin Mongold, pretty much. Speaking of Austin Mongold, he and DJ Curtis, that battle for Rookie of the Year honors is really heating up. DJ Curtis, after being able to win Rookie of the Race last week, has now cut it down to only 3 points. That Austin Mongold holds over him. That win at Coca-Cola Speedway was a big, big help. But right now, Austin Mongold is the highest running rookie, currently in 12th place. Where's DJ at? Oh wow, he's a long ways back. There he is, heading this group. 22nd. Danny Wells. Danny Wells' teammates Seth Cole, John Cittadino back here, along with Michael Norman, Stephen Paul third, Austin Plant, Jessica Shelton, Kyle Matthews, and Johnny Gardner all here in a second group. Someone on pit road. I think that might have been the 6th of Nathan Hudson. Yep. Cody Lamas in. I think Nathan Hudson was also on the pit lane. No, he wasn't actually. It was just Cody. Anthony McCurry already made a pit stop. Joshua Michaels a long ways back. I think it's going to be the second straight week Michaels is going to have a poor finish. As James Silverfox all over the back of Tim Walsh. Now he dives down to the inside. Jacob Lawler knows how to make his way around restriction plate tracks. Keep in mind, a former Daytona 500 winner back from season 4. James Silverfox. Oh, wait a minute, are we under caution? We're not under caution, but Tim Walsh got a real big run heading into turn 1. Silverfox lost the momentum there. Now Cody Lamas is going to fall a lap down. See if anybody else hit pit road. Chris Washer. Wait, is that Chris Washer? No. That's Brandon Gonzalez. Yeah. He was one of the drivers that stayed out. James McLeod's back here in 30th. Damage on the right side of his machine. Not sure what's up with that. Joshua Collett also back here. And Joshua Michaels. Boy, I wonder what's happened to a couple of these drivers here. James McLeod was up there at the front. Started on the pole position. Restarted in the 6th position. Of course, Joshua Michaels dropped 6 spots in the points last week, and looks like he may end up going a lap down in just a few moments. And then I'm a little curious as well of why Joshua Collard is so far back. Joshua Collard, 6th in the point standings. And since season 8 has gone to victory lane at least once every season. Been to victory lane twice in season 8, once in season 9. As Joshua Michaels now falls off the lead lap. I think he's up to speed, but maybe not. Looks like William Duncan just completed his service on pit road. So out of all the drivers that stayed out, the only one that has yet to come to pit lane would be the Mercedes of Nathan Hudson. Wow, splitting the slower machine of Cold Alley, the damaged car. Walsh thought about going to the inside of Silverfox, not going to be able to do it. We're going to see if... There's William Duncan. He just pitted. I don't think Nathan Hudson has pit yet. There he is. Oh, yeah, he has. Yep, 35th he scored right now off the lead lap. Charles Jackson just hit the pit lane. So maybe these guys can't make it. All these drivers that pit back on lap number 3, maybe they can't make it the rest of the way. As right now, James Silverfox continues to lead the way. Silverfox had a strong run at Coca-Cola Speedway a couple of weeks ago. Pichu London, our Grand Marshal, he'll go to the inside of Tim Walsh. That's for 2nd. Austin Mongold right there for 3rd. Mongold's had a very strong rookie season. The only thing that's been hindering him is he hasn't found victory lane. And here comes Silverfox. London, they're coming to pit road. Lyndon Wright cutting it close there as he'll get on. So is Dougie Shears, Chris Dollerton, Benjamin Miles. So pit stops taking place here with about 3 laps to go when the leaders hit the stripe. The leader being Tim Walsh at this point. There he is. Walsh the leader. Bob Jones now up to 2nd. 3rd place is Jacob Lawler. And you got Dylan Young and Levi McIntyre, teammates out of Young Motorsports. They are in 4th and 5th. Watch out for them. They're both looking for their first wins of the season. Tim Walsh going to come in this time. Bob Jones, Levi McIntyre is going to come in. So is Dylan Young. Richard Johnson. Not certain who this is going to cycle the lead around to. Look at the ticker on the top left, see if anybody decides to stay out and lead another lap. Galligan, Dunham, they're in. Michael Norman's in. Tim Walsh had a good pit stop, but so did Levi McIntyre. Dylan Young now comes out as well. Watch out for that 2 and 99 if they could hook up here late in this race. When they hit the stripe here, it's 2 to go, believe it or not. That's when the pit stops decide to take place, with just the last few laps remaining. So this is the money stop. And here comes Anthony McCrory in the 61, who I think is back on the lead lap. He could be a factor in this. So this cycling of pit stops worked out, I think, for McCrory. Unless this is just getting him back on the tail end of the lead lap. Scored in 36th. Was he on the lead lap when he crossed the line? No, he wasn't. So actually that may not be the case. Tim Walsh right now leading. Got Levi McIntyre, Dylan Young, teammates going to try and run him down. But this next time by, believe it or not, is the white flag. One more lap to go. Dylan Young now going to look underneath his teammate Levi McIntyre, maybe thinking they can't do anything with the 15. As the white flag is displayed over the hood of Tim Walsh. Dylan Young second. Third place. That's Levi McIntyre. There's smoke up ahead. And Dylan Young running down Tim Walsh. Here he comes to the inside. Dylan Young looking for the lead in the 2 car. Levi McIntyre trying to offer the drafting help in that middle line, but he's got Bob Jones to his inside. Walsh throws the block on Jones. Here comes Bob Jones for second, but Dylan Young made the pass out of turn 4, or out of turn 2 rather. Here he comes to the line. Is anyone going to make a challenge? Battle still on for second. Dylan Young is going to capture Young Motorsports' first win of the season. Whoa, almost got pitched to the wall by McCrory, but still makes it to the line and will capture the victory here today in the Blue Deuce at Madrid. Felicidades, Dylan Young. And he had his teammate right there with him. Great strategy today by Young Motorsports. Dylan Young gets the win. Levi McIntyre, who all but pushed him there, is going to get 4th. That's a solid outing for that 2 and 99 team here today. And Tim Walsh, oh so close to maybe locking himself up a confirmed spot in this season's chase with a second win, not able to do it. And Dylan Young picks up the victory. What a great run for him. And Dylan Young, this could help move him up through the point standings as he's trying to make his first chase in a long time. Dylan Young was a winner in Season 8, I think, at Champs-Élysées. That got him into the chase that season, but he didn't make the chase last year in Season 9. Bob Jones, great run for him. That car came from out of nowhere. Solid run of second for him here today. A former Sprint Unlimited winner. Tim Walsh going to have to settle for third. 4th place was Levi McIntyre. And in 5th was Benjamin Miles. Pichu London, solid run today in 6th. James Silverfox in 7th. Jacob Lawler continues his streak of good runs 1 week after his second victory of the season. He comes away with a 8th place finish. Austin Mongold takes Rookie of the Race with 9th. How about Danny Wells? We never talked about that 4 car today. Apparently they had some pit strategy that they played out here, as he's going to come away with a solid top 10 run here today. A well-needed run from 2 as he dropped outside the top 20 in points after last week. How about the drivers that came in top 3 in the point standings, tied for the points lead? It's looking like Jacob Lawler is going to take that spot with a solid 8th place run. Austin Mongold will be 1 point behind him in 2nd, and then Trent Dunham finishing the race in 21st, which means he'll be about 13 points back from the new points leader, Jacob Lawler. But I would say a pretty successful debut race here from Madrid Raceway, Super Speedway, I should say. Pretty glad we came to this racetrack. Let's hope that Manassas stacks up as good next week. So we've had a race, we've had a really good race, and now we got to find out in our back-to-back-to-back debut racetracks what's going to happen in, say, the rubber match next week at Manassas Raceway. So hope you guys enjoyed today's race here from Madrid. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, become part of the group today. We'll show you now your official full finisher results from today's race. well as your overall point standings and your rookie points heading into next week at the debuting track of Manassas. Dylan Young takes the checkered flag for the first time this season here today in an exciting last lap pass. We'll see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NCRA Offline Racing at its best. Adios! Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. If you enjoyed the content you just saw, be sure to give this video a like. If you want to join the crew today, be sure to hit up that subscribe button. And if you want to know what's going on in the world of NNSCRA for news and updates, check out the Facebook and Twitter links down below me. Once again, thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you guys next time. I'm out.